once we go live. There we are. We're live.
We're
Yay us.
live.
We did it. We made
We
it.
made it. We made it.
I don't know how, but we did it. We're here.
I looked up at the clock. Like, I haven't stopped since we talked earlier, right? Like, I got the friends out the door and started doing the things.
Yes.
And then I looked up and was like, oh my gosh. So that's why there's nothing on the face and nothing. And, this is
You look beautiful. You look amazing.
Sans podcast face. I'm gonna make a quick post on Facebook, being that I'll also.
Yeah, let me do that too. I'll go ahead and post on Facebook too. Let's go ahead and just. Oh shoot! Let's turn it down because we don't need to hear our own voices. Let's just share it. We'll share it. Share that post publicly. We'll share it. I'll share it on that Canna Corner page. Hopefully they'll give us some love from there. Anywhere else we want to post it? Cannabis enthusiasts. A couple places there on the Facebook. What's up, Nex? How you doing?
What's up, Nex?
Today's a chill show because we have been going non-stop for 3 weeks. We can't breathe. We don't have a guest today. I'm working on guests for the rest of the month. We will have guests this month. I'm trying.
I forgot that I have a couple people that I reached out to when we started the calendar, and then they were like, "Yeah, let us know." And then we were waiting till Women's History, and so I have a couple people to reach out to as well.
We start getting them in. We do have a couple people in the emails that we've kind of talked to and chatted with. What's up, Kelly? To come through to chit chat. Oh, when more of you get in here, we want to do some not change. I don't know. There's not a change really, but it's an extra segment maybe for Wednesdays that could potentially include our audience. So let's get some more people in here. Hopefully we can put a flyer out today. Like I said, we've been going for 3 weeks straight. Like, this is our 3rd week straight. We're both going to Denver this week again. So,
and y'all may not know, but it's hard. That's hard for me, especially. Well, it's not hard now because we're in the summer months or the rainy summer months going into. It's winter is hard. I don't mind the travel back and forth. During the summer.
It is hard in the winter to travel over those passes and across the mountains. It's just a pain in the ass. It's almost not worth doing. But it's spring now in Denver, and there's a lot of events that are going to be happening. So we're really hoping to be up there a little bit more often with Queen Kitty and potentially CQ LLC as well. So yeah. And then obviously where Queen Kitty goes, the podcast goes, because the podcast is sponsored by Queen Kitty. So wherever one goes, the other will be. Yeah.
All three. I mean, we're talking about
everybody. Everybody will be there. I will be there. Queen Kitty will be there. And also the podcast will be there. Yeah. So what's up, Schnooks? Light them if you got them. You guys already know. I'll go ahead and give you guys the quick rundown. I don't know if our numbers are right, so say hello if you're in here. Because our numbers, they just don't feel. Oh yeah, so yeah. Is anything that you've seen, or has anything touched down near you? Oklahoma's been having tornadoes. That's scary.
Oh well. I am glad Marla did not take the Oklahoma route. She was going to. She thought about it. She went through Kansas, but that's still she was already prepared and asking me about apps for like that give warnings,
like weather apps
or weather. Yes, and
Yeah, it's not something I've ever actually thought about until you just said that. I mean, like when we travel, I never think about what about a tornado. It's a real possibility. Well, even in Kansas, it's a real possibility. They made a whole fucking movie about it.
If the sky turns green,
Is that
take
the
cover.
sign? Is that the signal? Is the
That is
sky
one
is
of
green?
them. It is a visual sign, and then usually the air horns, but those also sound like trains. And so one time when I lived in Oklahoma, and as a child, but my mom and her best friend were driving down the road, and they hear the train, and they see cars pulling over left and right, and people like doing things, and they're like, "What the heck is going on? It's just a train."
It's just
And
a
it was
train.
not a train. It was
A whole ass tornado.
Yep. It was the last tornado warning. I don't think they saw anything touch down, but
That's good.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
good. Green means hail
Well,
in
safety to
Oklahoma.
you, Kelly.
Yep.
That you guys are good.
Yes. Be safe. Do you guys have like a what do you call it? A bunker? Like a thing
Basement.
that you go down into, like they did in that tornado movie? Twister. I was obsessed with that movie. Yeah, that shit's terrifying. I'm terrified just thinking about it. I have not made a new code, but I'm going to soon, I promise. And it will be a May code. So eventually it will be May 1.5 for the King Palms. But the one that we have in there right now should probably still work. I think it still works until like the middle of May. So if you guys want a King Palm code, I just thought of it while I'm sitting here smoking it. But we usually
Did you
stand in
post
the
in?
yard. Wait. You stand in the yard?
What?
She said we have a shelter, but we usually just stand in the yard. Hold the phone. That doesn't sound safe. That doesn't sound like a safety plan.
That's great. Okay. So we used to do like the same thing in Florida. There was always hurricane warnings, right? So hurricane warnings, and if there was one in Tampa, usually everyone would shut down. We'd board up the restaurant and we'd go have hurricane parties because we knew it wasn't going to hit us. Like it there
but
hasn't.
Tornadoes are different.
Tornadoes are different. Hurricanes are.
First of all, hurricanes are different too. Y'all need to be more careful and cognizant. Hurricanes change direction all the time, but also they're not as quick to destroy things in their direction change. So when a hurricane changes direction, you usually got a little time to get the fuck out of the way. But when a tornado changes direction, what? She said we like to watch.
Oh, see, that's the worst part is the trees.
That's
you have to watch out for the trees.
I'm trying to get my flavor pocket if you guys want to know why I'm eating up on my blunt right now.
And flying cows.
That's a real thing, huh? That's a real thing.
I was referencing Twister, but I think that, animals get picked up, things get picked up. Obviously, buildings get picked up. There's some crazy stories out there.
Living on the wild side, no shit. I would also want to watch, but I'd also be like fucking scared to death that I was gonna get like fucking twisted up in that shit. No pun intended.
I'll watch from the inside. I don't need to be sitting in in the bathroom, with no windows and anything. But I'll be inside. I don't think I would stand outside if there were active winds.
Is it like warm? Is it like warm? Oh, there it is. I found it.
I don't remember the temperature difference because that was a long time ago that I lived in Oklahoma.
Tornadoes are I've slept through one that hit my house. Oh, that's crazy. I could talk about tornadoes all day. I think they're so fascinating, and it's probably because I've never actually seen one close up.
The water spouts are cool. Cool in a scary sense. Like
stay the fuck over there sense. Like stay over there.
Yeah.
Usually really muggy. So it's like warm and muggy. It's like humid. Right. Crazy. So what's going on with us? We have been in Denver. This will be our third week in Denver. We're going to Denver this week. We went the week of April 20th. And then we went back up the week of the 28th. And then we're going back up this week. Right?
Yes. Yes. I'm sorry. I was reading Kelly's.
Yeah, no, absolutely. She's like, I've chased it from you. So cool. It's very cool. I love learning about you guys. I love learning different things about you guys. That's crazy. So the reason we've been in Denver is because we've been like really just showing up at promotional events and parties and stuff where we can network for Queen Kitty. And I know she is straight badass. And so last week we went up for a radio interview, which was amazing. I definitely shared it on Facebook because there was a 30-minute of the live clip that he shared. If you guys don't follow Fan Bam Productions, please do on Facebook, Instagram, and any other of the platforms. So we went up there for that. So we're going on Wednesday is May the 4th. I've been so confused about what day it is. Like, I'm like, yeah, I'm going up on Wednesday. And he's like, you're going up on the 4th. And I go, no, I'm going up on the 3rd. He's like, so Tuesday. And I'm like, yes, I guess. So then I'm like, wait, Tuesday, I got to leave on Tuesday. Like what? So
I just got home yesterday.
Yeah, from Denver. You just got home because you were with your sister.
Yes. And so when you're like, oh, well, you want to ride up with me? I was like, maybe Tuesday? No. So instead,
we got this really, you guys, though. I mean, we'll report back, but from the pictures, we got this pretty decently cool Airbnb that has like some 90s theme situation going on. It has like a movie theater with some blockbuster movies downstairs, and it looks really cool. And they got some painted murals and stuff. So we're hoping that it's as dope as it looks on the picture. But the beds look comfortable enough. So it's a 90s themed Airbnb out in Denver that we're going to be staying in. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited about it, actually. I hope it's as cool as it looks. I like finding little stuff like that. Thanks for tagging people to come join us. We are going to be looking for guests for May and June and July. But here's the thing. Okay, so I've been really thinking about this because I think it would be really cool. We've been talking about doing a Wednesday banter show every once in a while. So what that would kind of look like is that we would just choose some random ass guests in or out of the cannabis industry, advocacy, et cetera, right? Could just be some just regular person that we just know and hang out with and think is interesting. And then we would pick a topic and maybe share an article or two about the topic with the people that are going to be a guest. And then we would talk about that on the show.
Yeah, so anything and everything, all right? We talk about anything and everything. So
on Wednesdays we definitely do.
So bring it. If you have something that you want to showcase, show off, talk about, have us talk about with you, bring to light, I think it would be awesome. I think
it would be a good look. I think it would be a good opportunity to share what you're doing in your life, and that's absolutely why we would bring you on and highlight you. But also, the premise of the Wednesday banter show is that we would pick a topic that's in the news or in cannabis or whatever, and that's what we would talk about on the show. Like that would be the main topic of the show for us to all kind of like put our opinions in.
So just kind of like have like a grab bag of topics, like your Post-it wall, and just be like, let's pick a Post-it.
You know, I think to be fair to our guests that we invite on, that we should maybe share an article or two about what we think we're going to talk about, you know, just so they can be a little bit prepared on the topic. but
Did we?
especially those people who don't live in our world, and then we pick a topic that's cannabis, and they're like, I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Okay, so it's not cannabis talk. Okay,
Not always cannabis, just just a banter show. We want to have a show when we bring some of y'all on. If you guys want to be a guest on the show, people that you know that you think are interesting that could carry on a conversation with us. We just want to come on and like beep 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 beep, and we can disagree and politely disagree with each other and
so we can do a
whatever.
work banter Wednesday.
Yeah, so just like, I was just thinking about it because I feel like on the last Monday show that we had, there was a little bit of that where we kind of pull off of topic a little bit and talk about something else. And I really loved the idea of that. And I love the idea of having some of these like brains that we've already had on to talk about things in their field and in their expertise, right? Because like that last panel show, right, everybody knew what was going on with Legal Missouri and with the legislative option. And so everybody on the panel was in on that. That's what they did. That's what they're advocating and or actively working in those areas. But what we brought them in to talk about something they're not actively working in, and see where we go there. They're intelligent people. So let's get into it.
Can they bring a topic to us that they want to?
They could.
Okay.
They could. Yeah, they could. But within time to share with the guests. So, we'd have a couple guests from different walks and areas of life or whatever, or different communities that we hang out in or whatever. And we bring it all together and we have like a conversation. I like it. It's a great thing to do on Wednesday. So that's coming in the future. That's something coming soon. And I would love y'all's opinion on what you think about that. What do you think about that idea? I think it would be fun. And I like the constant like I like that like we can play with Wednesdays a little bit and do different things. I feel like it could just be a segment. It doesn't have to be every Wednesday, right? But like we could have occasional Wednesday segment where it's like a banter Wednesday and we just pull the thing. Or we could, your idea, we can mix both ideas. We could say these are the 3 topics that we're going to be choosing from. And then this is what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
Right. Right. So it could still be like a surprise, but still then there's a little preparedness there too.
Right. Hey, no rules. We can do whatever we want. It's our show.
It's our show. We can do
we can try it, and if we don't like it, we can change it.
I will say this though, we were asked a question at the end of the radio segment on Wednesday last week that I honestly appreciated being prepared for. Even though I answered the question right away in my head and did not change my answer, it prepared me to say my answer.
Same. I could I send the text to us to be like, okay, we're answering this question and what am I going to say and how am I going to say it? I mean, don't kid yourself. For the first few minutes, like I blanked out and was not listening. I was like trying to figure out how I was going to say it,
right.
And then, yeah.
Right. Cause you're on live national radio. Like it's it's a Denver public radio, but you can go online and find them. They run on Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time every Wednesday. If you guys want to ever catch their production, it's denver.open.media, right? denver.open.media.
Yes. And it the name of it is the Colorado
Connection. Yep.
I was looking for the May the 4th poster, and of course, because we have all of our different channels, I'm like, where did we send it?
I feel like there might be one. Okay, there might be one in the email, and then there's also maybe one in. Oh wait, but he might have just sent it to me on Facebook.
Okay. It is at Colorado Culture Connection and at Bam Bam Productions.
Culture Connection, Colorado
Yes.
Culture Connection. Sorry.
And also at Denver Open Media.
Man, it was such a great experience, you guys, doing that interview with them.
We got to interview with someone special for their very last interview, and I can't wait to, like, I don't know, maybe we'll have him on our show as a guest once he does announce some things.
Yeah,
I don't know how fluid if we're allowed to, they were talking about it.
I think we'll just keep it. I think we'll just keep it.
But it was a great connection.
It was an amazing connection. Holler, Mr. Denver, right? That's his call.
Mr. Denver, I believe. Dr. Denver.
Yes. Mr. Denver, I think.
And Mr. Denver.
I have his card with his real name on it, with the name his mama gave him on it. But
his IG is at Believe Ian with a EAN.
Yeah,
EAN.
I love the way he spells his name too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kelly, yes, we are going to get you scheduled for a Wednesday show to talk about tornado chasing.
I think that would be so much fun.
Ooh. And we could share. We could share your videos because you own the rights.
Okay.
You own the content. Okay.
Here's another twist on these banter wins. So we can do all of these things because it's like a Wednesday show, right? It's a banter Wednesday show, but we could bring in like 3 guests with 3 completely different topics. Like, why are you here today, Kelly, to talk about twisters? So, like, straight up, we could totally do that. And then have somebody else talks about their time as a federal agent with the DEA or something like that. Okay, I'm just dreaming.
Yes.
I'm just dreaming right now, but
I actually need to reach out to someone for that.
Yes. So see how dreams can come true, you guys? That's what's happening here.
If you say it, you can make it happen.
Yeah. So, yeah, we want to talk to you guys. We want to hang out with you guys. You guys hang out with us every week, right?
Yeah.
So why not?
And we can work it out. Like, figure out if you don't want to be on camera, how to make that. Like, discuss like options.
Absolutely.
You don't like. You don't think someone could be green, like, and talk because some people just don't want
to not just because they don't want to be seen, but I would say maybe for like the previous DEA agent or somebody like that, maybe we could accommodate,
but we still want
privacy. But not because you think you don't look good on camera. I cannot abide that answer.
Correct. You have to tell us why you don't want to be on camera, and then we can discuss.
A case-by-case basis. I'm not going to make that promise to anybody.
But I don't want anyone to shy away from it because of that. Because we got to,
Well, here's what I have to say to that. Don't be a ball sack about it. Just do it.
I mean, I'm saying I've seen lots of people just do it. So I have seen some live TikTok stuff where I am like, wow, and they have lots and lots of followers.
Wow,
and so in the thousands,
die.
And I'm like,
you're just like, whoa, what are you doing live on TikTok telling people this thing?
Or just doing the things like some of them are just straight like.
Y'all, I'm banned on TikTok. Again. Follow our TikToks. Follow at TCCP and follow at Queen Kitty Seltzer. Seltzer. Singular. Yeah, all of our friends are.
Does that mean that account is connected to any of your others, or like
my Canna Queen DGO 420 account? If I got that up to 1,000, I could go live. I could go live on any of the other ones if we get them up to 1,000. But we don't post enough. I know. We know. Listen, we're working on it. Just there's 2 of us and we have 6 jobs each. So
did someone say that, or did you say that just to yourself and what we don't post enough? Like, it sounded like you were reading someone's comment. I was like,
no. I nobody said that. I said that out loud.
Okay, you're calling us out on our own. Okay.
4. Oh yeah. So I got banned last week and then I got taken off and they gave it back to me on the 27th and then promptly took it away from me again. They said I was doing illegal stuff. I was not on camera doing anything illegal. I was not off camera doing anything illegal either, because I was living in and consuming in the state of Colorado. But for TikTok's sake, I was also not on camera. At 8 a.m., you know who come? You know, I know they are over my shit. You know who comes into my lives a lot? Y'all can find me on Instagram too. Sometimes I go live there, but I just don't get as much interaction, so I just don't go there. But you know who comes in my lives a lot first thing in the morning is conservative trolls. They're fantastic. I get like 55 motherfuckers in my live, and then they start dwindling down when they realize they can't hurt my feelings because I don't have any.
That is not true in regard to not having feelings, but it's funny that they dwindle
Not for
down because
them.
they just are like, I cannot break this woman.
Well, you can't do it.
No.
I'm a Gen Xer. I'm a latchkey kid. My daddy was an alcoholic and very abusive, honestly. Yeah. Speaking of trigger warning for you guys. Oh, did I read the trigger warning? I didn't. But
I thought we started to and then did not. We started talking about other things, but we should do that. We aren't following show notes today, guys. We are off the we're off the wagon. We did not do a flyer. We will be back.
Damn thing today.
We will be back.
It's not true. We did work today. We both got work done.
Oh, we did work. I'm just saying we didn't do the. I did not do a flyer.
Yeah, it kind of got lost in transit. Anyways, transit. It got lost in. I'm gonna read the trigger warning, and then I'm gonna tell you something that might be triggering. Okay. And I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay, it's about that time. It's past already. You're about to get highly educated with the Cannabis Closet podcast with Canna Queen and MJ. This is an adult content show with no limitations on subject, language, or actions. Opinions, views, and expressions may or may not be that of the host, their subsidiaries, and guests. If you're not sure, don't worry. We will tell you, or you could just take a good look at our faces. They'll probably tell you before we do. It is time to get this session started, past time. So thanks for rolling up and showing up. And please enjoy the show as always. Hello, Saturn. So trigger warning, this is about death. I was in Denver. I was getting ready to leave Denver actually after our interview. We just did a turn and burn. So for me it was, you were helping your sister move. So yeah, I know. I just call you guys by your screen names on here out of respect. But we can call you Alex. It's cool. So anyway, I had to stop at our friend's house to pick up, because what I had done, I was there for 7 days. And so for me, I don't want to be a burden. I don't want to be that. So I stayed with our friend. She wouldn't have cared. She would have been like, stay with me all the 7 days. But I stayed with her for like the first half. And then I got a hotel for the second half. But I had left something at her house. It was Nuggets bowl. So I need to go back and get it. He needed it. So anyway, I went to pick that up, smoked a little blizzy with her. And I was getting ready to get on the road. And my mom called me. So I was like, okay. I had not been able to get in contact with her because her phone was off. So I was happily surprised to see this number pop up. But I was like, what does she need? I love you if you listen to this. So she was kind of like beating around the bush with me, right? She was like, yo, she didn't say yo, that's me. That's me. So she said, have you talked to your spouse? And I said, no, I have not. I had talked to him. We had spoken earlier that day. I had just spoken to him, but not about whatever the hell she was talking about. Like, I know that he would have mentioned something about my mother calling, right? And so I was like, no, I haven't. And then she said, have you talked to your sister? And I said, nah, what's up? Like, there's something up, right? Because now you're like, why? What? For what? So she said, well, I guess she was this is what she told me. She said she was scrolling one of those like obituary sites or whatever, looking for her brother's obituary. By the way, their names are completely different, so I don't even know. Do you just scroll those things like a newspaper? Like
I
when you
mean,
just
when they
like
were in the newspaper, people used to read the obits,
read
but
them
I
for
don't think
fun?
like for like the comics, but I don't know how it's done in the digital age.
Yeah, so I mean, but she is of the generation that read obituaries for entertainment purposes. I don't know why. So she came across she came across my dad's obituary. He's my stepdad, but I mean, he raised me. He's the only dad I have ever known. Uh, Not to speak ill of the dead, but I'm about to. He's a real piece of shit. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. Uh, the things the good parts of me that I learned from him are what not to do. Okay, how not to behave, how not to treat other people. Um, so she tells me this, and I still am not sure like how I don't really feel anything about it. I know that's I don't know what that is. I am not I First of all, I will never celebrate somebody's death. I just won't do it. It's just it feels like bad karma to me. Y'all know when bin Laden was uh allegedly murdered? I did not celebrate that with the rest of my, compatriots, my community of veterans, my community of those who have served and are, I did not celebrate that. I mean, I mean, I guess there's a bad, like, listen, when you wipe out one bad thing, right? What do you think's going to happen when he's gone? Do you think somebody's not going to come take his place? Like, you didn't eradicate the problem, is what I'm
Right.
saying.
You
You eradicated a bad person, and may he get what he deserves in his afterlife and in his next life. And that's
and
how I feel about it, for
and
everybody.
probably other, family members or, such have died along the way, and that all just turns into, again, revenge, and
Yeah.
this doesn't solve anything to be
So
just
so
killing. People are like, why don't
right.
people just kill people? It's like, why don't we shoot that elected leader?
Yeah.
Because that's not the no.
It's unfortunate that sometimes the lessons need to be learned within the tragedies too. So like life, it just can't continue on to be perfect, and that's how people like this are built, actually. You do have these spaces of peaceful being and living, right? And then there's this building of something else. But anyway, so it's not like I was like, yay, he's gone, like this person who has tormented my brain, to be very honest with you, for my whole life. Like, I wasn't like, yay, but then I'm like, not sad. I'm not mourning it, you know what I'm saying? Um, so my sister said something to me that I thought it was, I don't know, my response, I guess, I found very interesting, more than what, but she said to me, well, you loved him. You loved him. And I said, I loved the person I needed him to be. I didn't actually love the person that he was.
There's a
And
difference.
that was like, like, to me, I was like, who the fuck just said that? It was like, who is that? Was she wise? So I just want to shout out my therapist because it's working. Um, but yeah, it was just like it was um and oh, here's the cherry on top of this whole beautiful cake here. Okay. Not only has she found out that my dad passed away, uh but also that it happened last year in May. Yeah. Yeah. Nobody told me or my sister. So I'm not biologically his. He's just was in my life for those like pertinent years where you can like destroy or like really build and nurture a brain. Um so no big deal or anything. Um my sister is biologically his child. They did not mention us, not even a little bit in the obituary. I found it, I read it. I was like, maybe she's full of shit. Maybe she read it wrong. So I found it, I read it. They did not, there's not not a little bit of a mention. And my sister got 4 kids. Like he's got grandkids and great grandkids. And that like they didn't reach out, they didn't tell her. They know she exists. They know I exist, right? Because I grew up around them. All of my formative years were with this family. Um, like they split up and I lost contact with my dad just like right before high school. And that's because I cut contact honestly with him because one night he had called my house. Again, I'm a latchkey kid. I stayed in my house by myself a lot. And I had went almost completely no contact after this. And then when I got to high school, I went no contact. But that's not what we called it back then. We just called it absentee parenting and cutting, whatever. But he had called me one night when I was home by myself and he had told me he was dying. And I'm like a kid. And I listen, as horrible of a person as he was still my dad. So that's, I was scared shitless of him, but then also I just wanted this other part of him. Like, when you let's take your job for example, right? You hate that job. Fuck that job. That job is mentally draining. Your boss is a piece of shit. But sometimes there's cake in the office, right? And you laugh with your coworkers. Okay, that's my childhood in a nutshell. So, right, those little perks, that's what abusive people do. They're like, "Oh, here's some cake." Right? Sorry I yelled at you. Here's some cake. Now go back and you whatever, right? So anyways, yeah. Uh I am not upset by not being mentioned. I don't want anything to do with that family. I went when he called me, that scared me to death. I didn't want my dad to die, right? But then after that, after I realized what he had done and what he was doing, that's when I stopped really connecting with talking to him. I didn't want to talk to him. Um I saw him again in my 20s and he left early from the trip because he felt uncomfortable. He had not seen us since we were in our teens, both of us. And we were both like, she was in her late 20s. I was like in my early-ish 20s. Like she was in her mid to late 20s and I was in my early to mid 20s. And he was like, I was in town from Japan, y'all. And he left early without telling any of us that he was going. He was supposed to show up at the kids' baseball game that day. He didn't show up. And so that's who this person was. So after that, it was just like, I can't try anymore with you. So I don't care that I'm not mentioned, but I guess a little bit for my sister's sake, I care about that because I don't want her to be hurt. But yeah, that that interesting thing happened to me on my last trip, which was just like a turn and burn. My body and my brain are just fully exhausted from all of it. But yeah, it was just interesting. It was interesting, like it's par for the course for his side of the family, by the way.
Mm.
In the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, before I joined the Navy, my sister had received a Christmas card and she called me while I was at work and she was like, "Can you go and like have a private conversation?" She called me at work. Like this is y'all. I did not have a cell phone. I had a pager. That's where we were. Okay. So she called me on my work. She had my work number. She called me on my work number and she was like, "Can you get in a private place?" She called me to tell me that my dad sent a Christmas card to her, which he had not done in years. "Merry Christmas to you and the kids. P.S. Your grandmother passed away in May." What? What? I loved that woman. Like, what? I lost it. I had to go home for the day. I couldn't handle it because it was crazy. Because, like, the only reason I had not gone to go see her was because we were broke as shit. We just couldn't figure out how to do it. But me and my sister were talking before May about going to visit her. And then we just didn't get a chance to. And then to find out that we couldn't even go say our goodbyes, like we would have, I don't know, we would have climbed mountains to get to that funeral. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just that's that. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. At all. Just crazy. And I'm kind of glad that they didn't mention me. Don't reach out to me. Do not. I don't want to hear from nobody from that family. I do not. There's one good motherfucker in that family and she died in the 90s. So we good. Like we're fucking solid. This lady told my mom not to marry this man. What's up, man? I've been wondering. Like, you're usually the first in the comments. I'm pointing the wrong way, but whatever. So yeah, my grandmother, my nana, told my mother not to marry him. But
yeah,
you know how all this works.
yep.
We don't fucking listen. We don't fucking listen. So yeah. So that was last week. And then this week we're doing the Denver trip again. We got that cool Airbnb, so that's gonna be really dope. I hope there's like a Pac-Man machine in there, like a
Girl,
arcade.
it's amazing. We're gonna no parties. It's not a party house.
Listen, even if it's not, listen, let me tell you this. Even if it's not amazing, I'm gonna make y'all think that it is online. I'm gonna make whatever they got look like it's absolutely the whole house amazing.
Yeah.
Maybe we're like, I know, anyways. It looks like the whole space is pretty good and amazing. So I'm pretty excited about it. What did you get at the dispensary today? Bob.
Bobby. I am
I'm smoking jet fuel.
Peach pie.
Jet fuel and peach pie. There it is. I also have it in a Irish cream. I met a real Irishman yesterday. Don't ask me his name because I didn't ask for it. It was like in passing. But I had gone to shout out Cloud9 head shop. They are carrying Queen Kitty seltzers. I went by Cloud9, check on their inventory and pick up some King Palms. And then when I was leaving, there was this man there that was like looking at the King Palms and he wasn't sure what to get. And then they were like, "Oh, she just bought," because he was looking at the Irish cream, right? And then they were like, "Oh, she just bought the Irish cream." And I was like, "Oh man, they're amazing," like blah, 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 blah. And they go, "He's actually from Ireland." And I go, "Listen, I can't speak to the genuineness of this flavor, but I'm gonna tell you that I think it's very good."
You're like, just the flavor of it is good, regardless of what your thoughts are.
I don't know how genuine it is. Okay, I'm not gonna say that it's genuine, but it's delicious.
It's the flavor. It's the flavor.
You just they bet. Oh, that would be so cool if they did. Oh man, I would be so excited if they did. Oh, that reminds me though. I sent the email today. I talked to our manufacturer on I don't know what day is today, Monday. I talked to him Friday, perhaps, about distribution. I think that we can get distribution straight from the warehouse. So as soon as we can get that all set up and everything, we'll tell you where you can order and how you can get it shipped to you. There it is. Queen Kitty is going to be available to consumers soon.
Yay.
Otherwise, if you're in Colorado, it's in 7 spots.
Yes. Sister's actually, she's like, I'm ready. She's like, I'm ready to get Florida going. She's like ready to, we've already, have a couple.
Yeah,
things.
we can.
Oh, speaking of which, I do have a couple of things I want to run by you and how, things to approach, places.
Okay. Okay. Do we want to do that on the air, or do we want to do that like in private?
I don't know. Do you want me to say it out loud?
Well, I don't know what the information is, so I can't speak to a full educated answer to that.
It's just when you were saying, think about different places in Denver to go to present our drinks to, like,
Yes.
Whatnot. So this came about in a conversation with, with Sister, and car dealerships that serve their patrons drinks while they're getting
their customers, you mean?
While they're buying cars and going through that process, why not offer them a CBD seltzer
to relax them a little bit,
to give them, to give them a relaxation and feeling comfortable in.
You'll make a fuck ton of money. Just do it. Yeah.
So,
that's
so that's so some reconnaissance probably needs to be done.
Y'all think that you would buy? Do you think it would make you maybe not buy a car, but make you feel more comfortable in that really stressful process if you had a little refreshing CBD water?
Like, she doesn't know that I'm on a show today. She not listening?
We are on the. I'm gonna text her. Right now.
She's probably like, stop talking about. No, she would not say that. But that was born from her.
Excuse me, ma'am. We are on the air live right now. Oh wait, that didn't. Oh, I hate that. Excuse me, ma'am. We are on the air live right now. How can we help you?
Her car reads her messages to her. So whether you sent that via like text or voice.
It was a voice.
Okay, either way, she'll hear it through the speaker.
It was,
or maybe she did. I don't know. I wish that people could call into the show and not be.
You could. We just don't have the technology for it.
Let me tell you this.
Yet. Let's go back to talking about that radio interview because it was really amazing. We had such a good time last week.
They were so professional.
Super professional. Everything was, even though, listen, y'all, we brought the technical difficulties with us. They definitely had a few, but it was like not anything that they usually experienced. And it was probably our fault. And it was like, they managed it quick. They like got through it quick. You know what I'm saying? Like,
there were a couple moments where they did look at each other like, what the heck?
MJ
we were like, it really is us.
MJ cursed on the radio. I did not. So surprise. I don't know who you had your money on for that, but it wasn't me.
My nephew is being mean to his mom, and
knock it off, bro. Don't do that.
Knock it off.
Don't do that. Unacceptable. Do you know how many hours it took to get you here? It will take less hours to get you out of here. I'm just kidding. It's just a joke.
Joking. He's a lovely nephew. He's a good guy.
A lovely
he's
child.
A good kid.
Young. He's not a child either. He's a
full-ass adult.
That's
again.
But still, don't be mean to your mom.
He's her lovely. He's her lovely child.
You always got to be her kid, her baby.
He's 20 that's a 20-year-old person. 20.
How old is he?
24.
24. You almost an adult. You got one more year, so make it count because this is the year where your brain like solidifies that development shit, and then you just are who you fuck are. So like, make this one count, make this year count.
Make
it good.
finding his way. He's doing
No
good.
pressure.
He's doing
No
really
pressure.
good. I mean, he's doing really good. He's,
now that's not to say that you have to have all of your shit figured out by 25.
Right.
That's not what I'm saying.
He's still calling his mom, and
right.
we
Jesus.
we still call our parents,
what I'm
and we're in
saying
our
is
40s,
that
so it's
is that scientifically speaking, this is when your brain is completing the development process is at 25, and where we could actually start considering you the person that you're going to be for the rest of your adult life. And this is also when you stumble into adulthood, is in your mid to late 20s, is actually when adulthood really starts, like here mentally, and like, all the shit is all I'm saying. So good luck with that.
With that, it is Asian Pacific Islander Heritage Month.
Did you have any luck finding like articles and stuff?
So not necessarily articles. Like I started with the simple question of what is Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month?
Okay. So I just kind of went with a general search, and I want to say the reason I just went with a general search is because that generally has been working for what we are looking for, to highlight, individuals who are not white cis males. So I did that general search, and most of what I found was like what you're saying, like a definition of or like a video of an event or something like that, but not so many articles about things that have happened, or individuals who have like we find these articles.
You have to get into, so the countries that include Asian Pacific American Heritage Month are New Zealand, didn't know that one, the Hawaiian Islands, Rotuma, the Midway Islands, Samoa, American Samoa, Tonga, Tuvalu, the Cook Islands, French Polynesia, and Easter Island.
Did you say Snapchat has a filter for this? I mean, I don't know.
And then it says, it's recognizing the historical and cultural contributions of the individuals. But I did go in and type in,
but like specificities, right?
So you have to,
I feel like
specific about where they came from, and
right.
like
I feel like when
searches like that. Now there are children books for Asian Pacific Heritage Month, and so maybe that would like pinpoint some.
Yeah, so that's what I found most of is articles about how there's an uptick in crimes against Asian American and Pacific Islander Americans, and it's because of COVID and the false information that has been spread about COVID. But I didn't find, like, when we did like women's history and when we do Black history, I shouldn't say do, because we want to continue doing these things in the present as we go forward. But there were articles specifically about women who did these amazing things. There were articles specifically about Black and brown individuals who do these, who in history, who we need to know about, and like who changed the course. And there are those individuals in this community as well, in the Asian American and Pacific Islander community, but I just don't feel like there's a lot of news play about it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like when we talk about also indigenous culture, the same thing. It's sometimes it's very difficult to find that history, and so that's another reason why we want to highlight it. That's another reason.
Right, that it's not an edited.
She said, I feel like it, then that's what I was going to say. I didn't know if it was going to be insensitive or not, but I feel like also you're right. It's because it's new. And she said, I did not say this. but she said that every race gets a month now, which I mean shouldn't I'm like, you guys again, I don't love that, right? I don't love that like we celebrate your race in this month or your heritage in this month. I think that we should communally celebrate all of these heritages, as American history, as world history, right? But the problem is that we know what the problem is. White cis males take over everything, and so then we have to be like, oh, don't forget to celebrate this. So yeah, but that's why. I think that's why. So celebs can act
So
like
I
they
did
care.
find the AsianPacificHeritage.gov site, and
Okay.
there is a little section, pretty small. And I only scrolled to the first part where I found some actual names of
Yeah.
people that are featured. And so you can go to AsianPacificHeritage.gov, GOV. Um, let's see. The AAIPI collection features more than 230 public radio and television programs in the American Archive of Public Broadcasting. So you can go to this and listen to interviews with Asian American artists and writers
Mhm.
such as Maya Lin, Amy Lee, Jhumpa Lahiri, Amy Tan, and Frank Chin. Um, all of whom, we'll go ahead and just click on Maya Lin here. We'll go with the first one and
We
see.
can, Marla, talk about that. Talk about the internment camps that happened here in America. We could also talk about why those internment camps happened, the wars that they're connected to, the social situations they were connected to, but also um like part of my frustration is that I don't just want to talk about those things, which I feel like is all those are the things that are always talked about, right? The violence, the wars, and I want to also be able to on this website sounds like it has some highlights of people um who are just amazing in their own right and kind of help change history for us. Um, yeah, so that's yeah.
So, okay. So I clicked on the Maya Lin link, and it did actually take me to the American Archive of Public Broadcasting, and where they actually have the interview, so you can tune into the whole thing. But just a brief on Maya Lin and what she has done. She is a New York-based architect and artist, and she first came to fame when she created the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Washington, D.C. She's the daughter of immigrants, and she discusses her personal ties to her latest project, which is designing a new home for New York's Museum of the Chinese in the Americas. Um,
Because
so
it's
that's
new.
yeah. So that's just a little part of I think it's a two-person interview. So certainly check that out to get a full, and then more to see the actual interview with her.
Yeah. And so that's what I was coming across too, is there's a lot of video stuff and like audio stuff that we can't play on the show because of all the copyright
Yeah,
stuff.
but
But
and so but
she
it
says
is it was harder to find, not harder,
because
but
it's new, because it's new. Because it's new to white people. Like Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders have been in America since, well, probably since before some of y'all's ancestors. Honestly, they they found they had no problem finding America and probably doing some like spice trades and shit, and then leaving the Native Americans the fuck alone and moving back on to where they was fucking going. So all I'm saying. Smallpox and white people, stay away. Um, no, like white people came in and destroyed everything and founded America, and now we have to live under these like like I said, these necessary months to recognize a heritage, because we can't just recognize a heritage. You know what I'm saying? Like, it should be included in the things that we learn in school. It should be like in that basic American history. All of these things should be in basic American history. And it's not. And if it is included in your basic American history, it's super, super whitewashed. I mean, we grew up in the 80s, right? Like, we were children of the 80s. Let me tell you something. The Native Americans were super happy to have white people here. They invited us to Thanksgiving dinner. Like, literally, like, it was
Or
the
like, wait a second.
nicest, most beautifulest story I had ever heard in my young life. And finding out that that's not true is just, oh, is it time already? Oh my goodness gracious.
We
It's
haven't even gotten to the
4:20 on the
headlines
West
yet.
Coast. It's 4:20 on the West Coast. That's what's good. So anyways, that's all I'm saying is yes, 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 I agree. I think we shouldn't just have a month learning about. We should, like, you can trade, like, if you really just did a timeline, if you really just did a real life timeline, you could, like, really just go through American history and through the timeline and include everybody's part in that history honestly. Like, do it honestly though, but that's not what happens. That's not what happens.
Yeah.
It's just, I had this amazing so we haven't even gotten to headlines and we're an hour in. So I don't know. We'll see where it takes us. I got stuff to do before I get on the road tomorrow. I had taken world history in college. I might have told this story before, but I had taken this world history class in college and I was failing miserably. By week 3, I already knew that this was not going to happen. It wasn't going to go well, you know? Part of the reason was my fault. I was in my 20s. I was uh very distracted and did not know why. My professor looked like, you guys ever watch Princess Bride? If you have, my professor looked like a tall version of the preacher guy in The Princess Bride and also had a similar speech impediment. It was very difficult to concentrate and I could not. I could not concentrate. So I asked for permission to get out of there. I was like, I'm going to fail your class, bro. I didn't call him bro. That would have been, I didn't do that. But I was like, I need to get out. I went to my advisor and I said, I need a history class. I need a full schedule. This was like a full schedule for me. Like, I'm trying to finish this shit. Listen, I'm not here for the long term. I want to get in, get out, be over. Okay. So they were like, you have to have permission from the professor who teaches the American history class to get into this class. So I went to him and he was like, it's 3 weeks in. You're not going to be able to catch up. And I go, look, I swear to you, I will catch up. I promise you. Put it on me. Put it on me. I will catch up. It's only 3 weeks. I can do it. It's not a problem. How far in have you gone in 3 weeks, really? And he was like, pretty far in. And I was like, I could do it. And I convinced him that I could do it. And so he signed the paper and I got into the American history class and it was the best. It was the best course. His name is David Neff. I will never forget him as a professor. He taught me so much about like my misperceptions of history. Like he actually got me interested in history where I had never been before. I was like, I didn't even understand how this was this amazing story that was being told. And I missed all of it. Like I missed it, because it was so dry and dragging and droning in high school. It was so boring. It was like I never had an interesting history class until I got into Dr. David Neff's class. And then I took a second semester of him. I absolutely did. He covered my whole yep. Yeah, he was amazing. So, history. Learn about it for real. That's all I'm saying. Skip the whitewashed versions of it. Are you muted? You are muted.
I am muted because lady was making licky noises, so I forgot.
That's so nice, lady.
But I was saying, sister's a history buff, likes to listen to the documentaries and everything. Like
your sister is a story buff. Your sister likes a good story. Your sister is up on current events as well as knows about historical events because she likes a good story.
She likes all the things,
and she retains it.
She does.
Yeah.
So I get my sister notes. Like I get not Cliff Notes,
like
not the cheater notes. I get the sister points. She tells me about the documentary she watches. She's like, you should watch it. I'm like, why? You're going to tell me about it. Go and tell me. Like, please go and tell me because I'm not going to. 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to watch the documentary unless she turns it on for me.
She's actually a good storyteller too, because she gets like really super excited about it. Like, and then this happened. Like she's like super excited about it, and then she gives you the
always
details.
Talks with her hands. We're talking about you, sister. Like you're not here.
We 1000%.
She may not be here. She probably should be here, but
she was a minute ago. So, do we want to do any headlines or anything, or did you have more that you wanted to read on that? I didn't.
No, I mean, she mentioned that we won. We mentioned Susan Tan.
Amy Tan, author of the Joy Luck Club.
Find it. Yes. So that was one of the ones that was listed. Just again, a noted author. I think I closed out of the tab, so we can find that again later and highlight them.
For sure. Absolutely.
But
I'm gonna go grocery shopping for us. So if there's anything that you want, you should text it to me. And if there's anything that y'all recommend, you should send me a message.
How many nights? So how many meals do we need things for? We talked about taco night.
We need like morning meals for sure. I'm gonna get something for Tuesday night when I get there, so I don't have to eat out. And then we need something for Wednesday morning for sure. Maybe lunch also. Well, potentially dinner. We got to discuss when we're going to show up at the event. So I think it starts at 8. So depending on when we need to show up, we might even.
Is our tablecloth going to make it?
I'm sorry?
Is the tablecloth going to make it? Did you?
It was supposed to be here today, so I'll check on that. I don't know, but I have a black sparkly tablecloth as a backup plan if it does not make it.
What size table is it for?
I'm just taking that small. I'm just saying that bringing the small one. I have a bigger one, but I don't think we're going to need it. I think a smaller one would be better for that space that I think we're going to be in.
Oh, do we know which space we're going to be in?
Yeah. The one with the swing and the throne is the one I requested.
Right.
I don't know that for sure, but that's the one I requested. And he said, I think we're going to be sharing it too with the DJ, which I didn't care because I just wanted to be in there with the throne so that people could drink Queen Kitties in a throne and like get pictures for.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be amazing. Well, I have a small foldable table too that we could use just for, again, it just having an additional space, that doesn't take up a lot. So I'll bring it.
I think we can bring it, but I don't think we're going to need more than that one table. Because I mean, it's just our drinks and some cups and whatever. So I think we'll be good.
Are we going to have ice? Like bring?
I have a cooler.
Okay.
Y'all are getting the inside scoop right now. I have a cooler. We're gonna get some ice. And I mean it's a big cooler.
Okay.
Bigger cooler. It's a fake Yeti cooler, if you will. It works just fine.
Yeah, the one we traveled.
The gray one.
We've traveled with this before. Okay.
Yeah.
That one. Nice. Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, so we'll have that, and we'll have something to cover the table. It's fine. And I'll grab breakfast, lunch, and a few dinner items. Whatever we don't eat, it's fine. I'll bring it back and I'll eat it.
I think I have a sister sent me home with like some frozen some burger meat and stuff, like so for the tacos. Like I think.
Yeah, but you're not going to be there Tuesday night, so that's not really useful to me.
Are you doing taco bar on Tuesday night?
Well, that was the suggestion because I don't know what other night we're actually going to. I
Oh,
know that Thursday night we're definitely not going to be eating dinner in.
okay, I got you.
I mean, we could do it for lunch, maybe, potentially,
No.
but
You're right. That's the okay.
yeah.
Okay. Well,
So, anyways, we'll figure it all out, everybody. Don't worry.
it's like y'all are there, but not
Yeah.
with us. Um,
Did I have anything pertinent that I wanted to? Let's see.
I was like, I have not looked at headlines. I can certainly
At all. We said we were going to do headlines, but we didn't do headlines. So let's see.
Anyone have a headline that they've read recently? I feel like actually, isn't there something Messenger? There is something in Messenger.
I got a few. So let me just start with if you guys go to normal.org, by the way, this is where you'll see these headlines and these stories. So I'm just going to give you various marijuana bills become law absent their governor's signature in Maine. So Maine has several marijuana related bills became law this week, even without the Democratic Governor Janet Mills' signature. The first authorizes licensed marijuana retailers to provide for home deliveries to those 21 and older. The second provides an expanded legal protection for the designated caregivers of medical cannabis patients and provides physicians the ability to consult with their patients and issue cannabis authorizations via telehealth, among other changes. sorry about that one, MJ. The third seeks to promote greater diversity in the cannabis industry by repealing prohibitions on hiring applications for any applicant that has a past criminal conviction for certain cannabis offenses. They all three became law on April 26th. A separate measure was signed into law by the governor, and it provides for the opportunity for localities to receive financial reimbursement for the cost associated with licensing and regulating a cannabis business. And that law took effect on 4/20. So yeah, good job, Maine. That's amazing. That's all very good news. Those are some good things happening there. Virginia, what is Virginia doing? What are y'all doing? Like real life. But okay.
I feel like we need to make an education trip out there. Like
Seriously. Okay. So y'all need to replace this guy. Republican Governor Glenn Youngkin is garbage. You guys, seriously, what? He attempted to recriminalize activities involving the possession of 2 ounces of marijuana by adults via the enactment of an amendment to Senate Bill 591, which was defeated by the Senate. Thank you. In the last session. Let's see. His efforts failed. They voted to re-refer Senate Bill 591 to the Senate Rehabilitation and Social Services Committee, with 2022 legislation session already having ended. Y'all, to get paid as much as they do, they don't get paid for being senators. They get paid for who they lobby with and who they support and who they sign bills for. They get paid for that kind of stuff. And then they don't have to work at all for you.
Shouldn't
They
be
don't have to
allowed.
work for
It
you.
shouldn't be allowed.
You don't they don't have to do shit for you because you're not paying them. So they're gonna do whatever these corporations say, whatever, big money is what runs them. So he tried to okay. So what happened in Virginia was they were going to pass with their previous Senate, they were going to pass a legalization bill. And then they didn't pass it in time. And then the Senate turned, it like flipped. And then it died. They got this guy. I'm pretty sure he's new. Yeah. Yeah. Under 2021 legislation, the former Democratic governor Ralph Northam, I don't like his name, but anyways, but he had approved the legislation for the cannabis sales. So they were about to legalize in Virginia, and then this is why we tell you guys it is so important to vote in midterm elections and in local elections, and yeah, you got to vote in those smaller elections because the other side is voting in those, whatever side you're on. The conservative side is out voting in every election. They understand that it is absolutely their civic duty, and they believe in they believe in it across the board.
Process.
And we see lower turnout during midterm and local elections than we see during national elections because somebody has convinced us, right? The big powers that be, that national elections are more important. But honestly speaking, the president doesn't really do a whole, like, the president is a mouthpiece and a face. Like, the representatives of the states are who kind of paved the way for what he can and cannot do. So voting for those individuals is far more important than voting for the big guy at the top. Far more important. And even your local elections, that's what's happening in your community. That's what's happening right in your town. So you got to have a say in that for sure.
Pay attention. You'll get your ballots in the mail.
Yeah, that's scary. Like, he could have done it though. He could have done it. He could have recriminalized cannabis in the state of Virginia. Come on, man. What year is it?
Yeah, and also it's like, obviously it's a financial move. It's, his, like, that in a sense, like they want to use that as a point to ticket and fine people. Ridiculous. I've got a little fun headline. It's from marijuanamoment.net, their culture section. So Florida officials invite students grades 4 through 12 to invent new uses for hemp as part of an essay contest.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Educate the children, y'all.
So Florida students were invited to brainstorm new uses for hemp as part of an annual agricultural history and creativity contest being overseen by the state ag department. The agriculture commissioner, Nikki Fred, who's running for governor, announced the new contest on Tuesday. 9 students from different grades will be selected to win a $1,000 scholarship and be honored at the next, hold on just a second.
Bless you. It's almost over, you guys.
Woo, that was fun. So a total of 9 students from different grade ranges could be selected to win a $1,000 scholarship and be honored at next year's Florida cabinet meeting at the state capitol.
That's cool.
A description.
Unless they have to meet Ron DeSantis, and then it's not cool.
I don't know if they have to. I don't think so. Well, I don't know, meeting at the state capitol.
I mean, he probably will show up there because, for the kids, to brainwash them while they're young.
Let's see. It says a description of the essay requirement explains that hemp was federally legalized in the 2018 Farm Bill, and the crop is a diverse commodity and can be refined into a variety of commercial items such as paper, wood, paint, etc.
That's cool. I mean, that's cool. The children gotta know. I do have a couple more headlines. Or I'm just gonna read the headline. Marijuana legalization laws not associated with lax attitudes towards drugged driving. So there's a little headline about that, and then a poll: 69% of adults support legalizing cannabis. Most say it's less harmful than alcohol. Well, they would be correct about that. I do want to say that we do get stories from normal.org, but I will say that we don't always agree with them. I'm going to speak for myself in this moment, but I do think that they are backing legal Missouri 2022, and that bill is just not sorry, it's not a bill, it's a ballot initiative, but it's just not for the people. And so they're not always right. But
and they're not always forthright with the information about their
correct.
not rightness.
Yeah, so somebody called them out on that, and they
yeah.
Yeah, and they weren't really so forthcoming about it. But I will say that a lot of the news articles about the happenings going on around the globe or around the United States specifically are pretty accurate. As far as that's concerned, I would just say, while I support what normal is all about, they aren't always right, and we should, make our own decisions about what we want to support, not based on what normal says necessarily, but based on the facts surrounding the issue, if you will. I mean, I was told one time that what's his name, Keith, the founder of Normal, what is his I can't think of his last name right now, but that he refused. I was told, I've not heard this out of his mouth, so this could be a complete this could be completely false, but that he refuses to not use the word marijuana. Like he's like, no, like I don't know, like he won't like he doesn't use the word cannabis. He only uses the word marijuana or even potentially slang terminology. I don't know for sure. I've never spoken to him. I think his last name is Stroop. Off the top of my head, I think that's right. If I'm wrong, I'll correct myself at a later date. But what I'm saying is, just because even with us, when you're watching us, just because we say something doesn't make it the God's honest truth. Honestly, I would say fact check the fuck out of us. I would say that. And come back with some facts, and let's have the conversation if you don't agree with us, because that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to die. This is not we're not in a sports competition. You don't have to die hard support everything that is said by somebody that you follow in and sometimes support. Like we read normal headlines. We do support that, but also we don't always agree with their standpoints. Also, don't, in that same vein, don't treat politicians like celebrities. For example, I'm a huge, and have always been a huge Bernie Sanders fan. I don't agree with everything that he's said or done. Okay. And that's okay. He's not a fucking celebrity. He's a goddamn politician. And that's the way it's supposed to be. They're not celebrities. They're a news outlet and a lobbying group. And we need to pay attention to what they're saying and make sure that we're getting all of our information sourced appropriately and properly. And we don't have to agree with all of their stances. Just because Normal is a cannabis lobbying group doesn't mean that they're right about what they're what they're supporting in different instances.
They're just one entity of a group, and there are several lobbying groups out there, and but they are. Yeah.
And news outlets too. There's Marijuana Policy Project, right? Marijuana Moment has great news stories. If you want like less of the like headliney stuff and more of the like let's learn about cannabis stuff, Terpenes and Testing has really good and sometimes pretty quick articles where if you wanted to run down the rabbit hole, you could click on some links, but if you didn't, you would have a nice quick article and learn a little bit. So there's lots of stuff out there that you can learn from for sure.
Yeah. Do you have any other headlines or do you?
Nah.
Okay. I'm going to do this. This is just a little quick, just a sentence each of things to know. That's on marijuanamoment.net. The New Hampshire Senate defeated separate House passed bills that would have legalized marijuana sales through state-run stores and allowed limited home cultivation.
So they knocked it down or they passed it?
Yeah,
they defeated it.
Mm-hmm. Kansas House negotiators offered a medical cannabis compromise proposal to Senate counterparts during a conference committee meeting. Just a handful of outstanding issues remain, and advocates believe something could pass soon. Major food companies like Pepsi, General Mills, and Kellogg are asking Congress to help stop the proliferation of marijuana-infused copycat products that mimic their well-known brands. The American Bankers Association and bankers groups representing all 50 states and one U.S. territory sent a letter urging Senate leaders to accept House-passed marijuana banking provisions into the America Competes Act. The Louisiana Health and Welfare Committee approved a bill to add medical cannabis cultivation licenses. Democratic U.S. Senate candidate Gary Chambers, who smoked a blunt in an ad, testified. Separate legislation on reciprocities for out-of-state patients also passed the full House.
Nice. I want to do an update on that guy next time we come back, maybe.
Yeah. That's just the top things to know, and then there's some actual federal notes in regard to.
Did you freeze?
The Food and Drug Administration is proposing to ban menthol-flavored cigarettes as well as all characterizing flavors.
What are y'all going to do if they ban menthol-flavored cigarettes?
And characterizing flavors other than tobacco in cigars. So like flavored.
Wait. Because sometimes. Oh, I think they're talking about like the wrap, right? Okay, I was gonna say because tobacco just has its own flavor just based on how it's grown, what's grown around, if there's any fruit in the room, blah blah blah. It like absorbs all that shit, just like cannabis does.
Right.
That's what I thought they were talking, but they're talking about like if you go get a fucking cigarello that's cherry flavored or whatever. I didn't even say that right. Y'all don't make fun of me. It's fine.
Oh my goodness. So that's there's a few other things. There's definitely, it goes into some of the, individual state stuff. But
not the ports, she said. Y'all better stock up on Newports right now. Right now. They about to go out of business. Is there a safe, okay. Listen, do we have to ban flavors? Can we ban can we ban chemical flavors? Can they still put eucalyptus as like, how these have the little poppies in them, the little
right.
Yeah, like what isn't that how the menthol works anyway? Doesn't it have a little poppy in it? Y'all educate me. Somebody educate me.
I don't know either. I don't know that either. I think
I want to say it does.
Before the poppy things, menthol cigarettes existed. Before,
Yeah, but I feel like there's like a little flavor poppy or something in there.
I think definitely for now there are, but I like before that. What were menthol cigarettes? It was infused tobacco of something.
Do you think they just
flavored tobacco?
They just put some eucalyptus in the crutch, in the, what do you call it? The butt. In the butt.
Who knows? Yeah, who knows what the filter is? Or
don't put eucalyptus in your butt, y'all. Don't do it.
I mean, the breakdown of a cigarette and what's actually in it, and the tobacco ratio to chemicals and other end fillers
I
and
was
stuff.
talking about your real butt, but you are correct about cigarette butts too. Don't put in your
Well,
cigarette
no,
butt
not the
either.
cigarette butts. It was the whole cigarette. The whole cigarette is like this much
It's
tobacco
like
and like chemical,
smoking
chemical,
glass, you guys.
chemical, chemical.
Yeah,
um,
you're smoking glass and like formaldehyde or some shit. I don't know. I'm making shit up a little bit, but there's like a lot of bullshit in your cigarettes.
and yeah, so thankful that was never a habit for me. I have my other vices. So, uh, lady is yelling at me to go do things.
I get that.
You have to go do things.
I have to
I
go get things.
do.
Yes.
Thanks everyone for hanging out. It was a fun show.
We're going to be on Wednesday. We are going to be on Wednesday. Brief. It'll probably be brief, to be honest with you guys. We have an event on Wednesday. We got to find out what time we got to show up there and set up, or what time we can show up and set up. But we're going to come on and talk to you guys. And am I supposed to have my live back by Wednesday? No, I'm not. So I don't know. Maybe crank our other ones up to 1,000. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Maybe we'll go live on Instagram, perhaps. So follow us there on our Instagram pages. I'm Canna Queen DGO everywhere I go. So Canna Queen DGO, that's how you'll find me. And then you could find Queen Kitty Seltzers on Instagram also, and Facebook and TikTok. And you can find the Cannabis Closet podcast. You can find the Cannabis Closet podcast is on Instagram under Cannabis Closet 420. It is on TikTok under TCCP. So just look up at TCCP. You'll find us. And we're also on Facebook, the Cannabis Closet podcast. Also, you can just go to our solo.to/Cannabis Closet 420 and find all of those links. It will also link you to the Queen Kitties, and you can link on all of those. And I'm pretty sure it might link to Canna Queen, but they're all solo accounts. Solo.to/Cannabis Closet 420, solo.to/Queen Kitty Seltzers, and solo.to/Canna Queen DGO is where you can find all of those links. And stalk as you wish. Be nice about it. Join us on Discord. Be nice about it. And that's it. Be nice to yourself. Put your mask on before assisting others. It's super important. Love yourself first.
Yeah, cultivate that love. Bring it to you.
Bring it to you in your heart. And I don't have one lit, but y'all stay lifted. I am. She is.
I'm not even impact. We're
Stay lifted. We'll see you on Wednesday. We're gonna be dressed like Star Wars. It's a silent disco. We might honestly come live for a later show. So I'll see what the setup looks like. If we can put the computer up and do some live stuff on our regular broadcast stations, we'll bring you a little bonus. How's that sound? We'll work it out. We'll see what we can do. All right. We love you guys. See you soon.